Okay, so just watched the latest episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS, episode 34. The duel between Blue Angel and Spectre continues. I'm going to try my hardest not to call Blue Angel Ghost Girl, because for some reason in the last review I kept doing that. I don't know why. Blue Angel, Ghost Girl, they're kind of opposites, but I just can't help myself. I don't know why. Now, something I want to talk about off the bat before I start talking about the episode is the fact that Spectre is an interesting character. However, I find it difficult to sympathise with him. Later in the duel, when he starts crying blue tears, which was a bit weird, looked really silly, I think I was supposed to feel for him in that moment, or feel a real sense of, oh man, how he's turned this guy. He's helped cut the scar in his heart out or something like that. But I was just thinking, it just seems a bit silly. So I just think it's because we've had such little interaction with Spectre. We've seen him probably less than 5 episodes altogether, and in those 5 episodes, we've only seen him in little bits and pieces. So maybe, I don't know, I feel like we need to see more of him, because we've got a little tiny bit of his backstory in this one. He too suffered an incident in the past when he was a child. He seemed to have fell down like a crevice or something into this sort of cave, and he was like trapped there for what he said was for quite some time. He didn't look like he was in too much distress in the flashback. Maybe it's not as it seems, we'll have to see more. But in the next episode, we see that he is playing against Yusaku, so maybe we'll see a little bit more than that. I say that, but I know we're going to see more of that because there was a little bit of flashback footage in the preview for the next episode. My only problem is, I kind of predicted that Blue Angel was going to lose this duel because they need to make the threats big. And if the bad guys are winning, that means that Yusaku really needs to put in the work later on. It's a shame that she lost because I actually quite liked her play that she was doing. She did some really clever moves, and she got a card out that I want to talk about for just a second. So obviously the Trick Stars are very powerful, have some very powerful cards. Trick Star Reincarnation especially, in response with, is it Lacrosica? I always forget the name of that monster, where basically just can keep doing the burn damage. Had she had Light Stage on the field as well, she could have been doing even more, but that's neither here nor there. So Spectre managed to banish 3 of her Trickstar Reincarnations. She was like, holy hell, that's like shut down a deck, that's like her big play. But then she actually used a move which I thought was really awesome, where she got all those banished cards back into her hand. But then she used a card called Trickstar Treat, which, first of all, I like the artwork, just looking at it. It's just like a little play on Halloween. The Trickstar monsters have all got these pumpkins with the faces in and stuff. Kind of cool. I don't know if that's some sort of reference to the fact that they're very similar to the Ghost Tricks, Trickstars. They're not the same at all playstyle, but the names are similar. I don't know, maybe something to do with that. But this is its effect. Listen to how broken this is. I've kind of summarised it a little bit. You get a counter on this card, and at the end of the turn, for every counter that's on this card, you take 1,000 damage. So what do you have to do while this card's on the field? Well, you can activate trap cards from your hand, so you set them, you get a little counter on it if you do that, and you can activate it. You can only use one at a time, so you use one trap card, so one Trickstar Reincarnation, activate that, activate another from your hand, activate that, and activate a third one, do that. Now, the crux of this, however, is that even if Aoi were to have survived that turn without being attacked, which we'll talk about in a bit because that was brutal, she still would have lost the duel because she would have taken about 3,000 or 2,000 damage or something like that, so yeah. I just thought it was really powerful, and yeah. Let me know any more plays that you could do with the Trickstar deck with that, because it seems strong in my eyes. So the realizations we had in this duel was that Spectre seeks to be loved, or to have some sort of warmth around him. That's why he summons his Sun Avalon monster. It continuously protects him. His entire deck is basically about protecting his life points and keeping him safe. So you can kind of see the psychology of that and where Aoi is coming from. And while I do believe that is true, I am unsure to how much that he wanted to be saved. Because he was saying that I want the Blue Angel to save me, because obviously he knows this story as well. Maybe that story in the past helped him. I'm sure he sort of covered this a little tiny bit. But he seemed like he wanted help. And I think if he had lost, maybe he would have found his help there, but he didn't lose because he had one last card which helped him turn it all around and ended up wrecking Aoi. So I don't know. I don't know what his goal is, and I can't really speculate on it because I just can't read the character and I don't know enough about him, so never mind. Speaking of Aoi losing, oh my god. That whirlwind thing, of course, like ripped all of her wings off and stuff, and it ripped like the pigtails out of her hair. I was kind of hoping to see her, like, you know, and the character's always like, the hair gets messy, it comes down and stuff. They always look pretty damn awesome when that happens. But that didn't happen. She got flown up into the air, and I thought, oh, she's just going to hit the ground, and then maybe she'll get digitized. No! You just see her fall head first and hit the ground on her head first and go like this. Now, I don't know if that was just like a that looked vicious, this is how much damage she took kind of thing, or has she got spinal injuries now? Because that looked really bad. Yeah, I just really stuck in my mind. I remember watching it and going, oh, and I don't normally like gasp in Yu-Gi-Oh episodes from shock, but that, I was like, That was a bit much. Aoi should be okay. That's not even a physical body. However, you do take damage to your real body if you suffer enough physical trauma. So, I don't know. Maybe she'll be like, "Ooh, my neck feels weird in the real world." But we noticed that she didn't get turned into Data. So maybe Yusaku gets there in time to protect her. We will have to see. In terms of the duel, though, I liked Spectre's deck with the ability to sort of take the monsters off of Aoi. And I really, really thought that this was going to be the duel where they build one of those circuits that goes all the way around and points to your opponent's link zone. Extra monster zone, sorry. I thought he was going to summon a monster into there, so he was going to completely shut down Blue Angel. But he didn't manage to do that, and I can't remember that's been a thing before. I don't think it has been. But it was so close to almost being doing. He had all the monsters nearly there. What did he have? He had 4 link monsters on the field. So he was very close. Aoi did some good plays as well, and she also got out one of her new Trickstar monsters, Trickstar Pelfiendium, which was an alright monster. The only thing I don't like sometimes about the actual Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS series is the fact that they'll get out monsters. So, like, she got out one Trickstar monster that you needed 1 tribute for. She used ability for that. And then she went into another monster. And then she got that out, and then they literally just get rid of that monster straight away to go up for something else. So sometimes they sort of tear through monsters without sort of them doing anything. So I don't know how I feel about that. It's fine. It's serving a greater purpose, but I don't know. It's just a weird thing. But anyway, guys, I enjoyed the episodes. In terms of the duel, I thought it was awesome. Some really good plays and some very clever strategies. I have to give it to the VRAINS series. They do duels quite well in this series. In terms of Aoi, I hope she's okay. Could this be a hit to her character development? Because she's not been doing well, really. She's had a couple wins, but mainly losses. Ghost Girl seems to be the only female protagonist that we have that's good. Except she too was lost, but it's against the main baddie of the series, Revolver, so maybe we can forgive that. Spectre, I still don't know how I feel about him. I would like to see a little bit more character development before I even give a crap about his character. Why did he cry actual physical blue tears? It is a hologram, actually. It's all in the Data world. That's fine, because he ripped that book as well, and that's set on fire. So yeah, I guess it's Data. It's fine, we can forgive that. But guys, let me know what you thought of this episode in the comment section below. What do you think is going to happen next week? What did you think of the duel? And what did you think of Trickstar Treat? Let me know in the comment section below, and thanks for watching.